So for the 11th and 12th grade mid-state audition excerpt, the important things to keep in mind here are the different characters that you're setting up with sound measures 4, 5, and 6. You want to hear the difference with the different characters there. You got this sound going on with your one hand and this with your left hand. The first 3 measures of this piece kind of set up the pace and the tempo, which again, to emphasize it, is not that fast at all. My performance that you have without the metronome is a little bit on the quicker side. So to keep that in mind as you're watching and listening with the slower excerpt with the metronome, that's kind of the tempo that you're aiming for with this piece. And the reason why is, as you can see in the last 2 lines of this excerpt, measures 16 and 17 are setting up these 16th note flourishes, and at the same time you have this connected slur of the quarter notes in measures 18 into the fermata. So what I would try to do there is listen very carefully for how you're connecting to each of the drums as you're getting slower and at the same time moving, so that there's not that much of a gap in the sound. That you want to hear something like this. As opposed to again, keep track of how well you're counting in the rests from measures 9 through 13. As you're changing the pitches of all the drums, it's very important to do your best to find a way to keep the metronomic click going in your head. If it's around 100, which is now that's more audible. I'm not even sure if you can hear it on the video, but that's more audible to me than what I would like to do. Normally it's much quieter than that, but something like that, like a with my tongue against the roof of my mouth, helps keep the tempo when there's nothing to do except count and then change pitches on the instruments. This isn't set up for that particular spot, but this is kind of the different characters that might be nice to go for between measures 4 and 6. You're still hearing each individual line, but there's a little bit of a phrase. Bum 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 ba dum dum bum bum, as opposed to really emphasizing that there's this 8th note rest in between. Think of that just as a rhythmic delineation, but I like to think of that left hand as all of a connected phrase as much as possible, so that that's more of a smooth texture against this. And I think if you keep those things in mind, then your performance is going to go really well.